Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most worthy follow-ups to great horror movies. We may be diving into some significant plot points here, so a spoiler alert is now in effect.
She's alive! Alive!
Number 10, 28 Weeks Later.
Gas! Get back! Get back! Sherry!
Gas!
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Get in the car!
What makes a great horror sequel? For that matter, how far should future installments differentiate themselves from the OG? 28 Weeks Later couldn't feel more removed from its predecessor, Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later. This sequel from director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo feels in line with audience expectations for a more typical zombie outbreak scenario.
Wait,
Sally, there's
don't
no
let
time.
us.
Go,
Not
Jake.
the
Sally,
others.
come on! For God's sake, go!
The loneliness and sprawling empty landscapes of Boyle's vision are replaced with a more action-orientated role of how the rage virus is spread and what humanity is doing to combat the inevitable.
Why the hell are you here?
Their mother had very special blood. A natural kind of immunity to the virus.
28 Weeks Later, as a result, feels like both a sequel and a companion piece of sorts, and you don't need to be familiar with Boyle's original to enjoy the ride. Number 9, The Exorcist 3. William Peter Blatty, author of the original Exorcist novel, helmed this second sequel to the genre-defining 1973 adaptation of his work.
It's a problem that I'm working on, Father. All this bleeding.
The Exorcist 3 combines elements of police procedurals and occult terror as Lieutenant William Kinderman investigates a series of violent killings. These ritualistic murders all contain the meticulous handiwork of the long-deceased Gemini killer, which raises questions as to what in the devil is going on.
The Gemini is dead.
No, I am not! I'm alive! I go on! I breathe! Look at me! Look at me!
George C. Scott and his co-star Brad Dourif both deliver career-defining monologues, while the set pieces are creepy and ultra-disturbing.
I believe in murder. I believe in pain. I believe in cruelty and infidelity.
Oh, and The Exorcist 3 also contains one of horror cinema's finest jump scares, full stop. Number 8, Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Michael.
We're living in the era of the requel, direct sequels that reboot a franchise, while ignoring all previous sequels. This can often be a dicey proposition, and usually delivers mixed results. But 2018's Halloween was a notable exception.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Gotcha.
Director David Gordon Green captured the menace and unpredictability of John Carpenter's original, while also updating some of the brutality for the late 2010s. Sure, some fans lamented the changing of key plot points, such as Laurie Strode now not being related to Michael Myers. Then again, these sorts of controversial decisions are often what sets certain sequels and requels apart from the pack.
Goodbye, Michael.
Number 7, Scream 2. Wes Craven's original Scream wasn't the first film to contain meta-commentary about slasher cinema, but it's arguably one of the most influential.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back!
Its 1997 sequel, Scream 2, also has a lot of fun dissecting and deconstructing many of the tropes that we love within the genre.
Are you suggesting that someone's trying to make a real-life sequel?
Stab 2? Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck. No, come on, man. Oh, please, please. By definition alone, they're inferior films.
Screenwriter Kevin Williamson pokes gentle fun at the horror sequel's reputation for diminishing returns, while at the same time employing some black humor amidst all of the grisly slayings. The production of Scream 2 was complicated and chaotic, but the end results speak for themselves.
I've got my whole defense planned out. I'm gonna blame the movies.
It's pretty cool, huh? It hasn't been done before.
Number 6, Dr. Sleep. The task of creating a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's landmark adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining couldn't have been easy.
Here's Johnny!
Writer-director Mike Flanagan had some gigantic shoes to fill, yet many fans couldn't wait to step back into the Overlook Hotel for another trip into darkness. Dr. Sleep isn't without its problems.
You said you'd come back. And you did. Good.
However, Flanagan's eye for composition allows his updated vision to successfully distance itself from both King's source material and Kubrick's austere film. Dr. Sleep feels very much like its own thing, rather than a legacy picture, and this helps Flanagan's work step up to the plate and take a swing at greatness.
Are you gonna take your medicine?
I'm not.
Oh. Look at that, I'm sorry.
Number 5, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV.
This franchise has done better than most when it comes to successful sequels. Wes Craven's New Nightmare from 1994 was an admirably meta take on Freddy Krueger, but fans of a certain age will likely point to 1987's A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, as a series high point.
We're here.
We're here. We're in a dream.
This entry has it all, from Dokken's amazing theme song to a memorable and likeable cast of characters. Dream Warriors is also where Krueger's wisecracks begin to filter in more prominently, balancing proper scare tactics with moments of mean-spirited levity.
I'm sorry, kid. I don't believe in fairy tales.
We celebrate a lot of the Nightmare sequels, but Dream Warriors stands the test of time when it comes to rewatchability. Number 4, Bride of Frankenstein. Back in 1935, the genre of horror sequels was in its infancy, with filmmakers still testing the waters in regards to what they could achieve. This makes Bride of Frankenstein all the more amazing to watch today, since it gets so many things correct right from the jump.
The cunning of Frankenstein and his mountain laboratory, taking dead men apart and building up a human monster.
There's the insertion of more humour into the proceedings, which works, but these moments are then juxtaposed against classic horror scares and scenes of real emotional pathos.
Go! You live! Go! You stay. We belong dead.
Meanwhile, Elsa Lanchester's portrayal of the titular bride is nothing short of iconic, a word that's tossed around a lot, but which definitely fits the bill here.
She hates me.
Bride of Frankenstein is truly as good as everyone says it is. Number 3, Evil Dead 2.
There's something out there. That witch in the cellar is only part of it.
Writer-director Sam Raimi and co-writer Scott Spiegel could have easily rehashed their gruesome horror masterpiece, The Evil Dead, for a quick cash-in sequel. We probably wouldn't be talking about either Evil Dead 2 or 1992's Army of Darkness if they had done that, however. That's because Evil Dead 2 instead chooses to revisit that cabin in the woods with a knowing sense of humour to go along with all of the red stuff.
What do you say we have some champagne, huh, baby? Huh?
Sure.
After all, I'm a man and you're a woman. At least last time I checked.
The film still possesses many genuinely gross and frightening moments, but Bruce Campbell's performance as Ash Williams adds physical comedy beats that help make Evil Dead 2 feel like one of a kind.
Hail he who has come from the skies to deliver us from the terrors of the Deadites! Hail! Hail!
Number 2, Dawn of the Dead. George A. Romero helped change the game with his original Night of the Living Dead, while also delivering 2 sequels that cemented his reputation as a legend. 1985's Day of the Dead was outstanding, but 1978's Dawn of the Dead is perhaps the perfect zombie movie, full stop.
Can't they smash the glass? Safety stuff. Put it in the structure. They got no leverage under the truck. Hoping they'll just go away after they find they can't get in.
Much has been said about the film's intended or not commentary about commercialism, but beyond this, Dawn of the Dead has become a tentpole for the genre.
With those
bay doors open. There's gonna be 1,000 zombies in here. That'll take the heat off us. These guys are gonna have their hands full.
The undead hordes seem unstoppable, and our protagonist's sense of desperation leaves the audience with a profound feeling of hopelessness. The world is, quite simply, on its knees, and Romero ensures that the stakes feel high from moment one to his harrowing finale.
How much fuel do we have?
Not much.
All right.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Saw X, a long-anticipated direct sequel to the original Saw.
Please don't kill me.
That's the last thing that you should be worried about. Now, I want to play a game.
A Quiet Place Part 2. Don't speak, don't breathe, or else.
Give me the key. Jesse's boys went back. My family. All right, listen to me. I have to get back to my family.
Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives. The man behind the mask is back.
Megan, no!
The Conjuring 2. Ed and Lorraine Warren continue to find spirits everywhere they look. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Thrills, chills, and laughs. The Saw is family.
You had to find out about it, didn't you? You just couldn't leave it alone. If you wanted to know about it so bad, why didn't you ask me? You want to know about it?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
The argument over whether Ridley Scott's original Alien is science fiction or horror could also be applied to its sequel, but ultimately it doesn't really matter, because James Cameron's blockbuster sequel is a beautiful example of both genres: scary, action-packed, and futuristic.
I ordered to hold fire. Coming out of the goddamn wall! Look!
If the first Alien emphasizes isolation and fear, then Aliens underlines the hopelessness humanity feels against the xenomorphs as opponents. Heck, Hudson says as much himself. It's game over for almost everyone in Aliens.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
The audience, of course, reaps the cinematic rewards of this relentless, high-octane thrill ride. What's your favourite horror sequel? Do you like any more than the original? Let us know in the comments.
I loved every minute of it.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.